In today's video, we talk about the separation between the IFBB Pro League and the IFBB Amateur.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. Welcome back to the channel. It was a nice weekend in Las Vegas, and I hope you enjoyed the videos that my man Chad Nutter put together for me while I was there. I was able to have a great time in Las Vegas, get some content out, focus on my work, my clients, and still enjoy the event. And so that's why I love Chad Nutter. So back home this week, and the first topic I want to talk about is something that happened while we were gone. Now, if you're looking for Las Vegas stories, well, Lauren and I are going to record a podcast this Friday for Redefine Healthy Radio. We probably won't be redefining healthy. We'll probably be redefining how you feel about us when we tell you some of these Vegas stories, because we had some interesting ones. Our trip in July was pure business, but this trip turned into a little bit of fun. Depending on how you look at it, maybe not so fun for everybody, but we'll get into that with Redefine Healthy Radio podcast. Gonna go out this weekend, and we're gonna do a couple this week, so we'll be getting out a couple. We got a bunch of topics, including, in the near future, some guests. That's right, moving on up. But let's talk about the topic at hand. An announcement came out, and I wanna talk about how it came out and what I've heard. So basically, for those that aren't aware, the NPC, the National Physique Committee, is the largest bodybuilding organization in the world, okay? It is the amateur league for the IFBB, the International Federation of Bodybuilders. The IFBB holds the Mr. Olympia and all the pro contests. To become an IFBB Pro, you previously had two routes. You could either compete in an NPC national show and meet the requirements, either winning or top two in a class depending on what that show was. Or you could compete in the IFBB Amateur, such as what Australia has. Now, there were far fewer IFBB Amateur pro cards given out. I think there was like just maybe one or two a year in Australia. And again, I could be wrong, but I just know it was much more difficult. And so sometimes what international competitors would do would be to compete at the, let's say, the Arnold Classic, which had a show attached to it. It was an IFBB amateur show, and if you won, you could then try to get your pro card through your country that way, and a lot of people were successful. Well, that is no longer an option, okay? So what happened was that the Olympia this year, they had an IFBB competition. The rules are different for the IFBB Amateur and the NPC. Posing is different, judging is different, there's different criteria. And so I never really pushed my clients to do the IFBB Amateur in the United States. For example, one difference in bikini, they would do quarter turns and they had a requirement of a hand on hip. There was just some minor differences, but they were just a little bit different. So when we're talking about competing for a pro card now, you're gonna have to go through the NPC. You're gonna have to compete. Now, I believe what they're allowing now is for international people to compete at NPC Pro qualifiers. We'll see how this all plays out. It's very interesting to me. But the biggest thing is, if you live in the United States and you're in the NPC, nothing's changing. You can still compete in the national shows. You can still earn your pro card. You can still compete as a pro with the IFBB Pro League. I don't know what happened. I'm guessing there was a difference of opinion. I talked to a few people that competed at the IFBB show in Las Vegas. And I said, oh, well, how was it doing your quarter turns? And they said there were no quarter turns. In fact, the judges were the NPC judges, were the IFBB Pro League judges, the same ones that we use here in the States. So I have a feeling there was a disagreement at some point and the IFBB international judges left. Sometime in the next day or so, there was an announcement made saying the IFBB is cutting ties with the NPC. And I think that scared a lot of people off, like, oh no, something's gonna change. Miami Nationals, they're not going to be giving out pro cards this year. No, none of that's true. Relax. If you live here, nothing's changing. I just feel like there was a difference between the NPC and the IFBB Amateur, and there really shouldn't have been. But this just goes to show you, we had a big discussion in the last couple of weeks about natural bodybuilding and the issues that they're having. And while they're having issues, so is the NPC and the IFBB. So it just goes to show you, none of this stuff is perfect. What is going to persist is our love for the sport. Natural bodybuilding, not going anywhere. NPC, not going anywhere. IFBB, not going anywhere. Competitors still have plenty of options to choose from. The sport as a whole is growing. That's right. Whether or not you like the direction some of it's taking, that's why there comes different sects. You may like some things you see, and you may don't like some things you see. But as my old boss used to say, vote with your feet. You don't like something? Take a hike, Mike. If you like it, stick around. It's really all I can suggest to you. As for me, not a lot's gonna change here. I'm coming to NPC Nationals this year with a full team. Figure, bodybuilding, men's physique, and bikini competitors. So I am going to be pushing them to do their best. And so I'm excited. So that's it. That's my thoughts on the rumors, the discussion, what's going on. I'm sure there's still going to be some things changing in the near future. The one thing I'm not certain of is now that the IFBB is an amateur league, if you compete with the IFBB Amateur and you win a show, what does that get you? Previously, it got you an IFBB Pro card internationally. Now, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. They did mention the San Marino Pro Show, which is in November in Italy, and as an IFBB Pro show, is going to have an IFBB Pro qualifier attached to it. I'm not sure. There's still some things to shake out. International scene, it's going to be a little different. I don't know if the NPC is going to get involved foreign or if they're going to only stay in the United States. Remains to be seen. Bottom line, the sport, it's just evolving. That's going to be it for me today, guys. It's Wednesday, and I'm still getting a little bit caught up from my trip. But the good news is we got lots to talk about, lots of good things happening, plenty to discuss. And so I'll have another video out tomorrow. I hope you guys are enjoying your week. Until then, I'll talk to you then.
By myself.